Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Sam. This is Bolt from the Blue Tarot. I'm an intuitive reader, and I read for your highest good and the highest good of all. Before I hop in today, I just wanted to say I kept being, well, first of all, I'm gonna just ring the wind chimes. Energy has been a little weird today. I keep being guided back in my thinking to these meditations. These guided meditations I used to do in high school, and this would have been like 2009, 2010. And I think about them occasionally for weeks. I've been doing this. And it's like it's been guiding me back to them. And I had no idea how to find these things. They're on like the way I would have listened to them was on like iTunes way back in the day, and I don't know the account email or password or anything like that, and I don't know the names of the meditations or the company that made them. So I was like, how do I do this? And I kept just asking, like, hey, I'm not worried about it. If it's important that I find them, please just guide me to them. And today I was meditating, and this thought popped into my head of like, don't you have that old iPod? And I went searching through a bunch of stuff, and I found the iPod, and I found the meditations on this old iPod once I charged it up. It's like an iPod Touch from like 2010. And they're guided meditations with visualizations. So I did half of them today, and it's like these places in the astral that I've just abandoned, that I haven't been back to in a long time. But I've left a lot of like high vibrational energy and thoughts there during meditation. So it's very interesting. It was like going into, I don't know, a house you haven't been in since you were a kid. Something like that. Anyway, I tell this story because someone has not done some meditations for like a decade or a decade and a half like me. And if they were to do them again, it might benefit them. You might find some things you left in the astral. Breadcrumbs. Anyway, today I feel like the energy needs a bit of grounding. So I've got some nature-based decks. We're going to pull from the Crystal Connections message cards and the Animal Love Oracle cards, just to get a feeling about what energy we're dealing with today, any themes. Clear Quartz. Ooh, the Master Healer. Clear Quartz is infinitely programmable. Like most crystals, we attribute certain characteristics. Rose quartz is for the heart chakra. It's for love of all kinds. Like jade is for health and prosperity and abundance. But clear quartz is for whatever you want it to be for. And clear quartz is powerfully magical, you guys. So this is telling me that maybe you are adaptable. Maybe you are a master. Maybe you are a healer. Maybe you are very flexible, like you can adapt to any environment and seem comfortable there, like you are intelligent and you can reflect all colors. Anyway, let's see what it says. Your health, wealth, and progress are favored. Is some part of your life out of balance? Is it chaotic and out of control? New projects started now will go well. Return to your natural state of balance, power, and glory. Work towards regaining balance in those parts of your life that you can control. Release stress or anxiety about that which you cannot control. Remain optimistic. Every area of my life is in perfect balance. This is reminding me of something. I pulled a card today from my storybook deck asking about the best use of my afternoon, and it was like, you have important research to do, sort of a thing. Possibly time sensitive. So I'm like, oh, what's this? And I ask, can I pull 3 more cards? Like, what is this? And it's like, Queen of Wands, 9 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. It's just like, stay sunny, kid. Stay magical, you magical being. And maybe you'll come across an opportunity. And maybe the opportunity is you. It's like, ugh. Sometimes you want specific instructions, but sometimes what you get is a card encouraging you to remain optimistic. A reading that is encouraging a disposition rather than a particular course of action. Because sometimes the course of action won't become clear until you've effected the correct disposition. And clear quartz is a good one to affect, you guys. Cool. Let's move on from the crystals to the animals. Yep, this one. Raccoons. Charitable, nocturnal, and healthy curiosity. This illustration is so great. Check that out. Look at the baby. All right, guys. I'm going to leave the raccoon there for you to attune to its energy while I read from the book. Raccoon, charitable, nocturnal, and healthy curiosity. Raccoons are fierce protectors of the family unit. A gaze. Oh, that's what they're called, like a flock. A gaze of raccoons. And travel and seek food together. Raccoons reward selfless behavior. When one raccoon is trusted with the job of being on the lookout for the group, it is compensated with special treatment. Raccoons will help the less fortunate of the group as well, no matter what it takes. The powerful symbolism of the raccoon is its ability to give for the sake of giving. They care for others without thinking about getting anything in return. What have you done to help others today? Think of ways to help both the people you know and some you don't. Anonymously do something that helps another, or volunteer your services at a local organization. All right, guys, when I read stuff like this typically isn't for the collectives I read for, because you are already giving usually a bit too much of yourselves, if anything. Usually the collectives I read for are being encouraged to actually reserve some of that energy for themselves, to fill their own cup first. So take this with a heavy grain of salt. With this, I feel like together, just your energy might be healing, and I'm getting that adaptability aspect. So let's see what else the raccoon has for us. I approach all situations with a playful and loving attitude. I know that I have my family, literally and or spiritually, behind me all the time. I tap into my creative core and know I have all the resources that I need to be successful. The raccoon says to take a deep breath and relax, let go of any perceived imbalances. Since the raccoon is up in trees so much, it suggests you take the time to sort out troubling situations, seeing them from a higher perspective and with impartial vision. I feel like we're not getting to the part of the raccoon that's for you. These are quite long, so I usually try to jump around. Let's see. Outgrowing beliefs and habits that you've had since a child. The raccoon is most active under the cloak of night, creatively problem-solving any situation until it gets what it needs. What this means is that whatever you are working on, keep it secret. Yeah, this is the part that's for you guys. Rework ideas that need to be improved. Do your research and make sure to copyright it when appropriate. Only share your work when completed. This way, if someone is less than supportive, it won't make a difference. It's already done. Believe in yourself. Know that you are guided. Remember to always be curious, creative, and playful. The Raccoon says that self-love is paramount. When you have this, your heart will overflow with abundance. You will then easily give your love to others, and others will love you right back. So if we get any practical advice from this, like action steps, it's to continue to keep these manifestations. There's a deck that's pretty common that a lot of readers use on YouTube, and it has a bunch of animals on it, and the raccoon is the magician. So, you know, under the cover of night or in secret, you are working on something that you ought not to share before it's ready to be shared. And then maybe not even with the people you know, just with the audience that is made for, that will match its frequency. Yes, that's the practicable step. And then the disposition is like this belief in yourself and your malleability in terms of rising to any occasion, to stay curious, creative, playful, and to reside in self-love so that abundance can flow to you, right? It's like we don't get that Ace of Pentacles, that inspired action until we've taken the right energetic steps, right? Until we're in the right space, one where we're receptive to it, and we can be sure that it's good guidance because it came from this still place, this high vibrational state. Yeah, so this is about staying in your good energy and reserving it for this creative act that you're doing in the quiet, that you're masterfully developing. Let's see what some other cards have to say. Got the Oracle of Destiny here. Some palmistry cards. Roots. Arch. Square. Always with the square. This comes out all the time. Sorry if that came off frustrated, guys. Let me just be real with you for a second. Some days I have a hard time with divination for myself. So that frustration is coming off a day of like having just like perceived difficulty with the divination that I've done. And I was on the fence about even doing a reading today, but I decided like, no, we're going to do a reading. Because we need a change of energy. Maybe that's what you need. Let's see. Root speaks to me about grounding. All right, here's what I think. I think you're resting right now. Maybe even in this hibernation energy. And going inward. These are like inward journeys. This is like what I did today. This is a reminder that if you're having trouble with meditation, like in a formal practice of meditation, the strict advice would be like, if you're having trouble with meditation, this is the process. Like, the point is to have trouble until you have less trouble. And that is very true. And that is a good way to develop the mind. However, sometimes more spiritual meditation, or the kind of meditation that can connect you with spiritual messages, like different kinds of meditation are going to facilitate guidance for different kinds of people, or connection to spirit for different kinds of people. And this may be encouragement to do some visualization meditations. Yeah, that's what it is. So maybe right now you're feeling like there's something I should be doing, like out there, getting it done, hitting the bricks. That's what I'm hearing. But that's not like the bricks. The only bricks you need to worry about are the ones that bound this archway into this, into the astral, like into this dimension within you, your imagination even. Yeah, and I think this is just a reinforcement of that, being like, hold up, before you get on that ship and go doing all that stuff out in the world. Have you gone within first? Have you found the place of stillness? You know, I did the regular energetic cleanses and meditation that I have to do daily as just like a tuned in empath, you know? And I felt like that was enough, but today it was not enough. And some days it's just going to be like that. Today I didn't leave the house. And, you know, it's barely February when I'm recording this. And so there's a lot of like inside stale winter energy. And it was just like, today was a day where I did not have the energy to go out and about, so I stayed in. But it's tricky. It's tricky with energy. Your body's calling for you to stay in, but sometimes you have to connect with nature. I actually think if you can't go out into nature, visualization meditations involving nature could really help you. If you're in this hibernation energy and you're like, Sam, I'm sick as a dog right now, or like, my ascension symptoms are whack, yo. I just got hot all over when I said that, like hot flash. So someone might be having wicked ascension symptoms, and you might be needing to have a lot of rest. Just know that there are things you can do while you're in this energy. It's actually what you're being directed to do, right? Like, if you go against your body's energy, then yeah, you're going to be in trouble. So you got to find ways to ground inside. This was something that someone recommended to me when, you know, I was going through a lot of ascension symptoms. There's these things called grounding mats, and they actually make bed sheets that are grounding bed sheets. And what it is they have like metal woven into the fabric of the sheet. It's like a fitted sheet for your bed, which connects to like a wire, and you plug that into the grounding port on like your socket, your electrical socket. And that's in the US anyway, that's the little round hole at the bottom underneath the two slit holes. Oh, wow, that did not sound great. If you look at a plug, you'll know what I'm talking about. In the US, it's that the bottom one. And that just connects to like your house, your apartment building, the grounding wire that goes into the ground and grounds the electricity of the building in case it's like struck by lightning or something, is my understanding. In any case, you can connect to the earth by these means as well. So I recommend a grounding sheet. And yeah, visualization meditations involving nature sounds, like these things that will send you into parasympathetic, just like relaxation as a creature of the earth, and ground your roots into the earth. Yeah, that's what I'm getting from those. If this reading is a little bit all over the place, it's all good. Take the gold nuggets out of here that resonate with you, and the rest might, it might make sense later and it might not, and we have to be okay with that sometimes with divination. Sometimes we have to realize that it's not necessarily that we're like the message isn't coming through, but it might be that we don't have the full picture, or we're not in a state to receive it. We just can't immediately understand all the time, and that's okay. Sometimes it's like we ask a question and we get an answer, but the answer doesn't make sense for a little while because it can't. But we'll always get the most helpful answer. We have to trust that. Sometimes it's just, there's a time consideration at play here, right? It might not feel like the most immediately helpful answer, but know that it is an answer, and it's the best one. All right, we got the world. I keep pulling everything upside down, and it's like some of the decks are a little mixed up, but this one, it's just because I'm grabbing the deck upside down, and there's a message there as well about, like, is the energy off? Is spirit off, or are you off? And I'm talking to myself here. A message that often gets told to me is like, the only thing that can get in your way is you. And very often it is just me. And sometimes there are things I can do to adjust that, and sometimes I have to try not to fix it and sink in. And sometimes that fixes it, and sometimes you're just like this organic community, and sometimes the community is just a little off and you got to sleep. Or one of the most helpful pieces of advice I heard from a tarot reader was like, right now your intuitive apparatus is just being upgraded. Like it's rooted in your body, and as you go through, whoever I'm talking to, you're going through ascension. Yeah, just got a big hot flash for that. You're going through ascension symptoms. If you don't know what they are and you just think you're sick, look up some videos. Sarah Hall has some good ones. You ask 10 different people and they'll give you a lot of different ascension symptoms. And that can, that can make you think like, oh, well, this is just dumb, made up stuff then. But it's different for everyone. That's why you'll hear different stuff. Yeah, so check out some videos. What was I saying? This has been my day, you guys. I feel like it has been for you as well. Yeah, getting confirmation for that. If it comes back, it comes back. Today, it's one of those days where you just have to be like, I surrender. I roll with the energy. I'm going to stop trying to figure out what action to take and start figuring out what disposition to assume so that action can be taken on my behalf. Because that's what a lot of ascension is. It's like, your guides know what they're doing. You just have to bear with it, and they can't always explain the intricacies of it to you. Oh, damn. The World, Six of Cups. The Fool. Judgment. One more. Or three more, how about? Wonder if we can read these energies stacked. So the High Priestess, Four of Wands, Knight of Swords. I'm getting the song Magical Mystery Tour in my head. Huh. Okay, this is like, all right, this is going to get more specific for someone. So I'm getting that, like, what you want, or what your higher self wants, what you are to become, what you are to inherit, like your highest destiny path involves this becoming of this, like, giant psychic being. Like, I read the description for this earlier today, and it's these otherworldly energies which are just, they can't take their eyes off of this. The woman in the center of the world, from the traditional tarot. Like, you're becoming this thing that you can't really conceptualize. And what this is, I feel like you're someone who wants to be as tapped in as they can get. Like, you might have asked for the psychic deep end, and you might have asked to live there. And if that's the case, you might have done this as a child. If you haven't done this recently, this might be a childhood dream to have these superpowers. And your higher self is giving it to your inner child, but you're kind of stuck in the middle for the time being. And it's confusing because to get to this point, like, you have to be upgraded so much physically, as well as, like, your physicality in the 3D has to be upgraded to match, like, to take on this energy from the 5D. You need a whole different apparatus. I don't know why I saw, like, someone attaching wings to a car. I think it's like is so representative of the energy today. It's just like this. I'm getting a wonky version of a phrase, a wonky version of an image. It's like your guides are building a plane while you drive. um, it's like you're driving and you're increasing in speed, and they're like, okay, we got wings. All, all we got to do is add like a plane's engine, and then we gotta like slowly jettison the rest of the car and add other more aerodynamic airplane parts. It's only gonna hurt like a lot. Just bear with us here. I'm just kidding, but Ascension symptoms can be no joke. There's a lot of nature in this one. I feel like grounding into nature again is being called for. And there's a relinquishment here. Like how we can help with the ascension process physically is by giving up slowly all of the processed bullshit that we're fed as food. Came out a little harsher than I meant it, but I get it, guys. This little cat mourning over the ice cream cone is me mourning over salt and vinegar chips, okay? Salt and vinegar crisps, if you're tuning in from across the pond. I miss them so damn much, you guys, but they're terrible for me. They're terrible. And honest truth, like they lower your vibration, you guys. These foods, especially when we use them to eat our feelings, like to numb out, to eat because we're bored, to like we get addicted to the chemicals in these things. And speaking of addiction, this is not to say like, okay, quit that thing right now. If you feel like it wouldn't send you into like an energetic wobble or spiral, just jot down a quick list of like, these are the things that I know are bad for me. And when you see them all at once, you'll recognize like what's the lowest hanging fruit in terms of getting rid of that thing. Or, make a dash next to each one in the list and say, make a healthier replacement for it. Because you don't have to give up. It's actually not a good idea to give up this stuff cold turkey. It's not sustainable. You'll just like fall back into it, and then your subconscious has evidence that you can't do this because you already tried, and that's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. It's just that we talk a lot about the 3D being real slow compared with the 5D. It takes a long time to catch up, and things just physically move slowly in our dense energy down here. And your body is a thing of the earth, and it's full of these chemicals that it's used to now. So you have to start taking them away just one at a time, or tapering down on them as well. So things you can do to make it easier: replace an unhealthy vice with a slightly healthier one, and you can jump up to healthier and healthier, right? One example is if you drink excessive amounts of coffee every day, like first step is to reduce the amount of that substance that you take in every day. If it's salt and vinegar chips, if you're eating them straight out of the bag, change to eating them out of a bowl. And instead of just mindlessly eating a bunch of them, say you can have like one bowl full for the next week. And then maybe it goes down to like half a bowl full the next week. And then maybe you change from salt and vinegar chips to, I don't know, maybe you go from the regular ones to the baked version, which is healthier, right? It's just about like moving up the ladder. And it's something that, you know, you won't be too disappointed in doing, because it's like, okay, I'm still giving myself the indulgence, right? It's just getting progressively healthier. And it goes in steps like that. So decline the intake of the negative substance and then replace it slowly with something healthier, and jump to healthier and healthier things. Fruits and vegetables are really, really good, you guys. Some people during Ascension, like, it just depends. Eat intuitively, and I don't mean impulsively. There's a big difference there. You're adaptable. You can do this, right? You're the raccoon that makes its home in a city sewer because it's totally metal. You're the the clear quartz that can be programmed to do anything, right? Like, you are this very adaptable being, and you're being asked to make a lot of changes, one of which is to the foods you consume. So do them in clever ways, because you're this master, right? Do them in disciplined, masterful ways. Don't take everything away from yourself all at once. There's nothing worse you can do, other than refuse the call at all. But that's not you. You're answering the call. Anywho, this is going to involve some sort of resurrection. And this might just be depicting Ascension in general. But I think it's going to be a resurrection of some childhood big wishes that you made, or some childhood energy, right? Like some magic that you might have thought you outgrew, or you just don't remember. But you made some big wishes back in the day, and they're being granted. But they require your adult self that had to learn a whole bunch of different skills and forget everything it knew about manifestation as a child to make some uncomfortable changes for the better. Because we got like High Priestess, we got the Four Wands, and we got this guy. What's this guy up to? So, I mean, your path is difficult, but at the end, you've got energy that feels like home. You've got union between the masculine and the feminine within you. You've got the High Priestess awakening within you. You're going to feel like you're coming home. You're going to feel like yourself in a way that you haven't as an adult. Ever, is what I'm getting, as an adult. And it feels like, this is so funny. When I, sometimes when I shamanic journey, like I'll just get to this space where I just like belly laugh. And I don't know, it feels like I've just gotten to this space of like a past self or a former self that can fully step in, my highest self, you know? And they're just like so wise and enlightened that everything is hilarious. You know what I mean? Like all of the little problems that we think we have, or like the struggles at this time, they're just like, This is small potatoes, and they're so small that it's funny. So you're going to look back on this and be like, that was really hard, but it got me to this space where life is so good. Like you're floating a foot above the earth. I can't remember who it was, but some yogic master was asked what enlightenment feels like. And he said it feels like normal life, but 1 foot above the ground, like you're floating 1 foot above the ground. This is how you're going to end up. Like this might be a long journey, but it's going to be so worthwhile. Yeah. I won't sugarcoat it, guys. Like this stuff is hard, right? But without these are like the early easy hurdles compared with what you will have to let go of later on. So that's just for some of you. Some of you, I feel like there's just some last little things, maybe. Anyway, they're small potatoes in the big scheme of things, is the vibe I'm getting. And to continue to choose a disposition of joy, high vibrational states. Yeah, because if you get worried or frustrated about this stuff, it will slow it down and it will make it a lot less pleasant. Some advice for you. Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Guys, this is like the best card. This is the best card. The advice here is like your manifestations are coming in, sort of a thing, but your only job is to maintain high vibrational states: gratitude, joy, love, laughter. So the advice here is to bask in gratitude. Charlie Bucket, which is Charlie's full name. Remember that you are the chosen one in this story. You have the winning golden ticket. This card comes up to tell you have the winning golden ticket. Few find it, fewer show up at the chocolate factory, and even fewer work through their flaws and foibles to make it through Mr. Wonka's factory tour and prove that they're pure of heart. But you are pure of heart, and you shine the light of love to brighten the world. The chocolate factory, dearest Charlie, is already yours. Just be your authentic self. The love you've put into the world all your life is about to finally come back to you tenfold. I'm not just saying this to you guys. I'm wishing this for you. But you don't need it. The love you have put out into the world all your life is about to finally come back to you tenfold. Yeah, I think that's the only piece of advice you need. Okay, I'm hearing one more, which we can do. We can do one more. Do one more. Lucy hiding at the back of the cupboard. This came out a couple days ago. You won't know when, how, or why it happens, but you are about to enter Narnia. Magic is about to ramp up big time. You can't explain it to the people around you, so don't try. They won't understand unless they've experienced it. Trust your bodily intuition at this time, okay? Especially over people outside of you. Enjoy the lucid engagement with the universe you are about to experience. Get conversational and playful, and don't doubt synchronicities and the messages you viscerally feel. And there's encouragement here to speak with animals, be around animals, be around the earth, go out in nature when you can. And if you can't go out, if the symptoms are too rough, go into nature in your mind, ground in other ways, work around it, innovate, be the raccoon, be the clear quartz. Let me say this, the early stages are the worst. If you are in the early stages, they are the most physically uncomfortable, in my experience. So yeah, keep going. The chocolate factory is yours, you guys. Just keep going. You're going to have these childhood wishes fulfilled. But it is a journey. Keep going. You're doing great. I hope that the energy starts to feel less wobbly for you and me very soon. Take care, you guys.